This is interesting and concerning all in one. Three teams averaging more yards per rushing play than passing play through 3 weeks. Patriots, Browns, and Titans. Now, the Browns have the third most passing attempts and the least yards per passing play at 3.5. They also have averaged 4.3 yards per rushing play and have the eighth fewest rushing attempts. So, and I think, Scott, that was one of the frustrating. They couldn't run the ball, so that's that's another one. Got to figure that out. That's a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of bad things about that stat, and one of them is it's not like they're running the ball great.
Right.
So if you're not running it great and it's still a better average than you're passing, um, yeah, it's like a double whammy. I
Yep.
don't know, garbage. So, they ran it 7 times for 7 yards in the first half. And people can question, well, why don't they commit to the run more? Well, that's part of the reason. It's tough as a play caller to keep going back when you're getting 1 yard of carry. So they need to be better at that. They didn't have the same commitment that they did against Jacksonville. And part of that could have been they thought they could run it against, or they thought they could throw it against the Giants. So they didn't think they needed to come out and establish that run. But then they didn't have a ton of success throwing it. Just shots to Cooper here and there was about it. So yeah, they got plenty to figure out, both in the run and the pass, and that's why, just to touch on it again, the defense's performance in the first half is frustrating because if they keep them in the game longer, it gives them a better chance, right? But when you get down 21-7 and you think the defense should be better than that, it just feels too insurmountable. Where if the defense, if Greg Newsome doesn't get that penalty, right, and then you get more points early, like things change the game. But giving up 21 points in the first half and the last 7 came off a Deshaun Watson fumble, I get that. But the offense needs as much help as it can get right now, and the defense just hasn't given it enough, even though the defense has played okay.
The one thing that I would say about the defense yesterday, I never thought I would see 2 7.5 minute plus drives against this defense. I mean that shouldn't happen. You've got too much talent across this defense to allow that to happen, especially to a middling team like the Giants. I'm
Right.
being kind when I say middling.
Yeah, I hear you. I thought Brian Dable did a wonderful job calling plays. He took advantage of some of the Browns' aggression with screens. They ran those jet sweeps to neighbors, and those are hard to defend, especially if you got a bunch of guys on the line of scrimmage like the Browns tend to. They ran some swing passes to neutralize Myles Garrett. I thought it was a really well designed those couple of drives. And then Malik Neighbors goes up and takes an interception away from Martin Emerson Jr. Right, that's a great play. Martin Emerson Jr. is in perfect spot. It should be the end of a drive and no touchdown, and yet Neighbors makes the catch, turns it into a touchdown. Um, Greg Newsome gets the penalty, which erases an interception, and then that turns into a touchdown drive. And they had a third down on that drive too when Newsome misses a tackle that would have forced a punt. So that's how these drives happen. If one of those plays changes, you're off the field, but it's a combination of all those things. But I agree. I just didn't see the Giants being able to score 21, and 7 of those were aided by the turnover. But still, I thought it was going to be a 10-point game. Daniel Jones would throw a bunch of interceptions, and that just didn't happen.